Okay, people last time I did the prediction video, and things have been, I'll just say, a bit hectic. So I was actually like 2 weeks behind on Raw come Monday. So I actually ended up having to watch Raw, and then me and a buddy blasted through the 3-hour Monday Night Raw that had the 18. It's actually really good. That, and Vince had this weird habit currently of throwing additional matches into a pay-per-view when he could have just announced them. So we have 7 matches this pay-per-view. So we'll start off with the opening contest, which was Kofi Kingston and Drew McIntyre. Now, I'll be honest, Drew McIntyre had been kind of on a tear. I mean, he's actually really worth watching on SmackDown. He's got a really phenomenal career ahead of him. And this is over the IC title, which he was stripped of, then re-rewarded, then lost. And, Kingston won this one through interference with, let's say there was a ref bump and a ref change, and then Matt Hardy did a run-in, and Kingston was actually able to, retain the IC title. And a Divas match. This was the first of the Fatal 4-Way matches. And Maurice took the title off of Eve. I'll be honest, when you looked at this match, you had Eve, Alicia Fox, Gail Kim, and Maurice. Gail Kim, Alicia Fox, great wrestlers, but they had absolutely nothing going into this match. And the Maurice-Eve thing, it'd be great when Melina comes back and challenges Maurice. Okay, now you're having Jericho, Bourne. These two guys had some pretty good matches on Raw recently. And this one came off like a pretty decent match. You saw Bourne get out of a code breaker. You saw a missed shooting star press. At the end, Bourne won. Bourne beat Jericho. He beat a former world champion, which is good. They're giving him a push, so that way, if they decide to push the smaller guys, like Caval or Senshi or Loki, depending on what you know him from, it makes it a lot easier to push a much smaller guy. Plus, lots of the bigger guys kind of being out, No Taker, Kali can't really do a whole lot. So pretty much leave Big Show, Kane, and Batista's gone. So you really don't have lots of really physically huge guys to push your product. So making younger, smaller guys, become a little more prevalent really helps out. Honestly, the 4th match pay-per-view was the World Heavyweight Championship. No, it's the world title. Sorry, I get the two confused because they're constantly referred to almost interchangeably. So you ended up having Punk, Mysterio, Show, and Swagger. Almost no one saw Swagger retaining in this one. Putting that belt on Mysterio made so much sense. Mysterio Kane works. Mysterio Punk, for the title, you needed to freshen that feud a little bit more unless you want to do Punk Mysterio match versus match. So anyway, get it figured out. Swagger really had nothing going on after this match, so it led to Mysterio winning the belt. As you can tell now, we've had 2 Fatal 4-Ways for titles, and 2 titles have changed hands. U.S. title match, Miz and R-Truth. I've actually really enjoyed what they've been doing for most of this time. It's good to see Miz, retain the title. It was kind of lame. They put on a better match on Raw than they did this time. 6-person tag. Why would you not have pushed this? Why? The Hart Dynasty versus the Usos and Snuka's girl. Yeah, just like the other guy, Snuka's boy, was part of Legacy, and nobody cared. I'm just going to call her Snuka's girl. Just something that really, sparks my interest. She is Snuka's girl. That's it. And the Hart Dynasty won. Now, ironically, this should have been pushed to the moon. It was mentioned before when they did some of the other matches. They've had some decent run-ins. This really needed to have that, since your 2 teams constantly do run-ins, you get a match. Not one of those, we'll just throw it together kind of last minute. Now we're on to the big one. The final match, and of course it had to be the WWE Championship, so it had to be the Cena match. Cena, Orton, Sheamus, Edge. This just was crazy. You had a huge NXT run towards the end, which of course led to Sheamus pinning Orton. to become the new champion. So Sheamus is a champion again. He's like a 2-time champion now. And the NXT rookies ended it by whooping the crap out of John Cena and everyone else in their way. The only thing that would have made this invasion slightly better would have been for Daniel Bryan to still be a part of it. But I like how they're taking the NXT rookies, who, let's be honest, they all seem like they could do something, but most of them never seem like they would get beyond a really solid mid-card status. So, seeing them go from what essentially would be good, solid mid-card fodder, a few of them maybe becoming IC or US champs towards the end of the year to help freshen title pictures, maybe a few of them becoming tag teams. They really didn't have something big to come in with to really solidify themselves as the next generation of wrestling. Through these invasions and these, massive beatdowns, it's good, because you want to know why? Stables work. Vince hasn't had a really great stable. Legacy was pretty good. However, they had no one to feud against. Straight Edge Society, again, it's a 3-member group. You need to do something more than 3. Evolution worked beautifully. Why? Because you had a 4-person group. It's weird how a great stable needs at least 4 people. You need the guys who work as a tag team. You need the definite solidified person. Now then you need the newcomer that this whole stable is built around. In some cases, you can take somebody who's highly established, another highly established person, and then throw in 2 newer people, and it works great. Taking like a 7-person stable with no established people, but putting Wade Barrett, who does a great job on the mic. He really actually earned it. Everyone was thinking Bryan Danielson to win from the beginning, but Wade Barrett came out, great look, good on the mic, pretty solid in the ring, and now, he's leading an army of essentially rookies, and it comes with like an actual threat. Yeah, you can say it's 7-on-1 beatdowns. Hey, you know what? 4-on-1 beatdowns worked for the Horsemen for how long? Think about 7-on-1. Plus, this is Cena. You can't beat Cena down with 3 people. We've seen him defeat tag champs. It takes at least 6 or 7 guys to beat down Cena. So that was the Fatal 4-Way pay-per-view. Each Fatal 4-Way match had a title change. The singles belts didn't change hands. So, that was it in a nutshell. You have a new champion for SmackDown, new champion for Raw, and a new Divas champion. Ironically, there was no Fatal 4-Way for the co-held women's belt, but that's a topic for another day.